Time with Hebrew Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with Hebrew Royalty. Tea Time with Hebrew Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with Hebrew Royalty. Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, endurance, faith, and meekness too. Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit.
Shalawam, shalawam, shalawam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Shalawam, sisters. Shalawam. Oh my gosh, it seems like it's been forever. It seems like forever. Come on in, Shebrews, with your beautiful royal selves. Come on in. Sister Diane Lewis is here. Sister Johnny Green is here. Shalawam, sisters. Shalawam. Come on in. As you come in, please, please, please do me a favor. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please put a comment in the comment box and let me know that you are here. Let me know you're here. Even if it's just a shalom, even if it's just that, shalom, shalom. Please, please, please do me that favor. Do me that favor if you haven't already done so. hit the notification bell. Come on in. Let's get this Shebrew tea party started. Let us get this party started. Yes, it's been a long time coming. Sister Jean is here. Shalawam. It's been a long time coming. Oh my gosh, it's been, this is 3 weeks now since our last show. Wow, wow, wow. Time is seriously flying. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since our last show. Wow. Yeah, so I am so ready to jump right in. But before I go any further, as usual, let us give a big shout out, a praise to the Almighty, AHAYAH, AHAYAH, I am that I am, the God of the Hebrews and the Shebrews, in the name of His Son YASHAYA HaMashiach, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. Right? I am your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this broadcast today. Yes, we always have to give that shout out to the Most High, right? Because it is because of Him why we even made it through that past week and into this new week. So, yes, let us give Him a huge shout out. Sister Matakwa is here. Shalawam says, Shalawam. So talk to me. How was your week? How was your week, sisters? How was your Shabbat yesterday? I pray that you had a productive week and a restful Shabbat. But I also want to know, how was your tabernacles? How was tabernacles? Oh my goodness gracious. I know that we can go on and on and on and on about tabernacles. It was so amazing. It was so amazing. Let's see, who else is here? That tabernacles, every year it just gets better and better. Yes, let me see who's here in our live chat. Poetic, etc. Shalawam, poetic, etc. Yes, Shalawam. Welcome to Tea Time with Hebrew Royalty. Yeah, let's talk about tabernacles just for a minute. Like I said, every year it just seems to get better and better, more and more and more intense, more and more productive. That is what I found, to be the case. And we are growing so much closer together. We're growing so much closer as the world seems to be trying to divide. We are just getting closer and closer together. And so I just thank the Most High for that time that we get to spend together as a body. Yeah, throughout the four corners of the earth, right? We're all on the same page, and it is just amazing. Sister Johnny said, I had a wonderful tabernacles at the Huntsville State Park. Didn't see not one alligator. Praise the Most High, AHAYAH. Well, where we were at, there were little critters. There were a lot of critters like ants and scorpions. And we had a bobcat and let's see, a snake. So yeah, we had, but they did not come near us. The scorpion did. The scorpion did. The ants really did. But the snake, it was taken out before it got to do any damage. And the bobcat just stayed out there and just, observed us from a distance. And as long as we stayed in our place, it stayed in its place, and we were all good. We were all good. It was beautiful. But yeah, we had such an amazing time. Sister Zion is here. She said tabernacles was absolutely amazing. Miraculous things happened. Yes, growth, revelation, etc. Yes, sis. So, oh my goodness gracious. Like I said, we can go on and on about the miraculous stuff that was seen out there. It was, man, those clouds, the sky was during the day, it was so brilliant. It was such a brilliant blue sky, and the clouds were just white and fluffy, and they looked like they were just hovering right there. I just wanted to climb up there and lay on that big white cloud, like it was just like a big fluffy pillow or something. And then at night, oh my gosh, the huge cloud that came over us and just hovered over us and covered us on that last night, on the great night. It was just absolutely amazing. So for those of you that may not have made it to your tabernacles this year, please, please, please do whatever it takes in the upcoming year to start preparing for tabernacles next year, so you don't miss out. If you have to go to your job and let them know a year in advance, this is what's got to happen. These are the days that I need off for the rest of during the year. I will work on your holidays. Just allow me to have my holy days. So you got to do some bargaining out there. Got to do some bargaining with these jobs. You go out there and say, this is what I'm going to do for you, but this is what I need you to do for me. That's how that works, right? Because these days are so important. And as the time goes by, they just become more and more important that we get together and celebrate them for the Most High. And, get in order. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Sister Johnny says, Khan, I feel you, Sister Koala. Khan, Tabernacles was truly amazing. Sister Princess said, yes, yes, yes. Sister Diane says, it was fire. Yes. Oh my goodness. You all were in the wilderness. Khan, we weren't playing this year. We were not playing. We did the wilderness thing. Okay. Because that's what we're preparing for. Yes. So that being said, let's move on, because like I said, we can just sit here and talk about tabernacles all night long. But we have a show. We have a show to do. So before moving forward in the discussion, let me go through these disclaimers really quickly, and then we can jump right in. So let me start off by saying what tea time with Hebrew royalty is not. Tea time with Hebrew royalty is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And, that's okay. It's all right. We don't expect to be. But if you happen upon this channel and you realize, hey, this is not my thing, this is not my cup of tea, like I said, it's okay. Just keep scrolling through YouTube. I'm sure that you will find your perfect cup of tea and your perfect flavor. In the meanwhile, as you do that, please just don't leave any derogatory statements or comments in the comment box, because that would be distasteful. But if you're not quite sure, maybe you'll want to stick around and see if, you may just acquire a taste for what tea time with Hebrew royalty has to offer. So, and if you decide, well, this isn't my cup of tea, well, no harm, no foul, it's okay. But who knows, you may just decide, yeah, I really like what's going on over here. I really like this tea. And you may just decide to stay and, learn and grow with us. That's what we are doing here. We are learning, we are growing, and every Sunday when we meet, that is the goal, for us to be better than we were the previous Sunday. So it's all about growth, right? So although I am a certified physician assistant and functional nutritional informed professional, And I will be touching on topics of health and wellness in my broadcast. We will not be utilizing this platform to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. So if you are experiencing any medical problems, any mental health issues whatsoever, please consult your healthcare practitioner. And the views that you will hear on this channel are the views of myself and not those of any particular church or organization. One more thing, if you would like to be a guest on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty, please send me an email to shebrewroyaltybiz@gmail.com. I'm going to put the banner up here for you. Give me just a second. Here's my email. shebrewroyaltybiz@gmail.com, and include a brief description of your business, product, or service that you provide, or a topic that you are interested in co-hosting with me. I would love to hear from you and brainstorm so that we can, collaborate on how we can help to heal Shebrews throughout the four corners of the earth, which will ultimately contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. So there is my email address, shebrewroyaltybiz@gmail.com. Just drop me a line and, tell me a little bit about yourself, your business, your product, service, or a topic that you are willing to co-host with me. I would love, love, love to hear from you. Please reach out. Also, I would like to introduce you to My Guardian Doc. Let us go to My Guardian Doc. And I'm going to just pull up their website. This is one of my sponsors, My Guardian Doc. Give me just a second to get their website up here for you. Let's see.
Life can throw unexpected curveballs. When it comes to your family's health, you need someone in your corner. Introducing My Guardian Doc, your virtual medicine program provides compassionate medical guidance and world-class care around the clock. Within minutes, talk to a licensed physician. We are My Guardian Doc. All our doctors are guided by our Patient Safety and Care Equity Council, whose mission is to ensure you receive safe and equitable care. For just $27 per month, your entire household gains access to a team of dedicated medical professionals. Whether it's just sniffles or sneezes, medication refills, or a question about diagnosis or treatment, or the need to speak to a behavioral health specialist in the privacy of your home, no concern is too big or too small. My Guardian Doc is here to help you. No surprise fees, no hidden costs, just quality care when you need it most. With My Guardian Doc, for just $27 per month, your entire household's associated benefits include immediately lower micromort count, which is your 1 in a million chance of dying, on-demand access to doctors, reduce healthcare costs, improve healthcare outcomes, decreased visits to the hospital or emergency room, increase your lifespan, and gain peace of mind knowing your family's health is always protected. From urgent care, primary care, medical guidance, prescription discounts, hospital bill negotiation, and much more, My Guardian Doc is here for you every step of the way. Millions of people have expressed a need for My Guardian Doc. Join the fastest growing subscription service. Visit myguardiandoc.com to subscribe today, because your family's health deserves the best. Life.
All right, so that is myguardiandoc.com. And for more information, please visit the website at myguardiandoc.com. And to sign up for coverage, you can actually find the subscription link for Tea Time with Hebrew Royalty viewers in the description box below this video. So that was My Guardian Doc. All right, let's keep it moving. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already done so. I hope you are wearing your favorite turban, tee, tunic, or dress. And that being said, let's sip some tea and have healthy talk. Let's get this royal tea party started. Let's do that. So speaking of tea and tea parties, sisters, tell me, what is your cup of tea tonight? Let's see here. I know Sister Diane had mentioned coconut and hibiscus. That is some sort of a tropical blend you've got there, my sister. Talk to me about that. Hibiscus coconut tea. Wow, wowzers. Who else is sharing their tea here? Ahab Karad says, Shalawam, my beautiful sister. Shalawam says, so good to see you. What are you all sipping? What are you all sipping on tonight? What's your cup of tea tonight? Who's got some tea? Talk to me. So my cup of tea tonight is hyssop tea. Hyssop tea. I know we've all heard Psalms 51:7. It says, purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. So tonight I am drinking this holy herbal tea for the first time. And I can't wait to share all of the amazing health benefits that it offers. Of course, if it was good enough for King David, right? I know it's certainly good enough for me. So I am, yes. And like I said, this is my first time trying the hyssop tea, and it is really good. It is really, really, really good. So now that I know that it tastes delicious, let's see what it has to offer as far as health benefits. Yum. Let us watch this video from Holistic Harmony. What happens to your body if you drink hyssop tea for 30 days? Let's get this video up here. Hyssop tea. That is what I am sipping on tonight. Let's see. Fair use for educational purposes only. Here's what happens to your body when you drink hyssop tea for 30 days.
If you're not drinking hyssop tea, you're missing out on a wealth of health benefits. A word of warning though, don't drink hyssop tea if you're pregnant. It can cause uterine contractions and miscarriage. Also, hyssop tea increases seizure risks, so you shouldn't drink it if you have a seizure disorder. That said, let's dive into what happens to your body when you drink hyssop tea regularly for a month. First, your body becomes a powerhouse of antioxidants. Antioxidants play a crucial role in protecting your body from oxidative stress and free radical damage. These compounds help maintain cellular health and reduce your risk of chronic diseases. Drinking hyssop tea regularly strengthens your body's natural defense mechanisms and improves overall health. So, after drinking hyssop tea for a month, you'll notice that you catch colds less often and recover from illnesses more quickly. Your inflammation also reduces significantly. Hyssop contains various flavonoids and essential oils that have been shown to reduce inflammation. That's important because chronic inflammation is a precursor to many serious health conditions, including heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis. After a month of drinking hyssop tea, you may feel less joint pain and overall discomfort. Even better, your respiratory health improves. Yes, hyssop tea is well known for treating respiratory issues. The essential oils in hyssop, such as pinocamphone and isopinocamphone, have expectorant and antispasmodic properties. These clear mucus from the airways and reduce spasms in the respiratory tract. Drinking hyssop tea is especially useful during cold and flu season, or if you have chronic respiratory conditions like asthma or bronchitis. After a month, you may find it easier to breathe and experience fewer respiratory infections. Your digestion will also become more efficient. Digestive issues can be a daily nuisance, but hyssop tea offers a natural remedy. The antispasmodic properties of hyssop help relax the muscles of your gastrointestinal tract, easing discomfort from indigestion, gas, and bloating. Additionally, hyssop stimulates the production of digestive enzymes, enhancing nutrient absorption and promoting overall digestive health. After a month of drinking hyssop tea, you'll likely experience fewer digestive problems and improved gut health. Then there are the potential anti-cancer benefits. A 2014 review found evidence that hyssop, like other herbs in the Lamiaceae family, can destroy cancer cells, and a 2017 study showed that hyssop oils can destroy cervical cancer. Of course, these were limited lab studies, so they're promising but not enough to suggest that hyssop tea is a definite cancer treatment. Basically, after a month of drinking hyssop tea, you'll be giving your body a boost of these potentially beneficial compounds. However, always consult with your healthcare provider before considering it as part of your treatment. Speaking of treatments, hyssop tea can also improve your ulcer treatment. A laboratory study discovered that hyssop can inhibit two chemicals in the body, urese and chymotrypsin, which are associated with the formation of gastric and peptic ulcers. This suggests that hyssop could be an effective treatment for ulcers. Drinking hyssop tea for a month may lead to decreased stomach discomfort and fewer ulcer symptoms. Besides, you get solid relief from PMS symptoms. PMS often brings a host of uncomfortable symptoms, including cramps, bloating, and mood swings. The antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory properties of hyssop tea can help to ease menstrual cramps and reduce bloating. Additionally, its mild sedative effect can calm the mind and reduce mood swings. After a month of drinking hyssop tea, you may find your PMS symptoms are significantly reduced. Your skin will also look healthier. For those dealing with acne or other skin conditions, hyssop tea can offer some relief. Its antibacterial and antiviral properties help to combat skin infections and promote healing. Drinking hyssop tea can help to clear your skin from the inside out. After a month, you may notice a healthier, more radiant complexion. So, that's what I had to say about hyssop tea. But if you tried it before, what benefits did you notice? Remember to like this video, subscribe to the Holistic Harmony channel, and ring the notification bell for more science-backed content like this. Now, let's move the chat to the comments. If you're not drinking hyssop tea...
So there it is. Look at all of those amazing health benefits of this holy tea. Hyssop. Oh my gosh, it helps your gut, it helps your respiration, anti-cancer benefits, peptic ulcer treatment. My goodness gracious, that's enough reason right there to start drinking hyssop tea, correct? So let's see what you all are sipping on here. Let's see. What are you all sipping? Who do we have here? Sister Princess says, just some unsweetened iced tea. Very good. Sister Jean says, I'm being real basic right now with water. There's nothing basic about water. Nothing basic. That's some good stuff. Life depends on that. So let's see. Sister Diane says, I'm sipping coconut water. Sister Johnny says, no tea tonight. Sister Poetic, etc. says, hit that like button. Correct. Hit that like button. Don't forget to do that. Sister Lillian says, hyssop, one of the herbs referenced in the Bible. Yes, Khan. Psalms 51 for sure. And Sister Habkarad says, same here, just good old water. Well, that's what I'm talking about. All of you all are being so good. You're being so good. Drinking everything that you mentioned is very, very nutritious. All right. So keep up the good work, sisters. Keep up the good work. So once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let others know that we are here. We're about to get started. And every time we meet, I solicit your help, because I don't promote on social media, because I do not have any other social media accounts other than this YouTube channel. So I depend on your support by sharing the channel and also inviting other sisters, family, and friends by word of mouth or through your social media to join us. So please do that for me. I so appreciate you for doing that. So who watched our show, our last show, which was what, 3 weeks ago? I think it was 3 weeks ago. Camping Basics with Ahchwathyam. Camping Basics with Ahchwathyam. Who watched the show either live or on the playback? And how did it help you to prepare you for tabernacles? And not just tabernacles, but what's to come? Because we already know there's some things that are to come. Without going into too far down the rabbit hole, how did that video help you to prepare? I know for myself that the tip about the dry ice. Oh my goodness, that was good. That was good, because my dry ice did last quite a few days, which prior to that, no, not so much. So that tip was really, really good for me. What tips, what did you learn, and how did it help with your tabernacles? Let's see here. Sister Jean says, yes, he was so informative. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that show really helped. I know a lot of the sisters told me that it really helped them to prepare for tabernacles. And I think next year, Most High willing, I will, if it's the Most High's will, I will have him come on earlier, maybe a month or a month and a half earlier, just so people can really start preparing a lot sooner. I did wait until like a week before going to tabernacles this time. So I know it would have been probably a lot more effective had I had the show maybe a month to a month and a half earlier. So lesson learned. Let's see. Yep. All right. So yes, whenever you all want to drop some information in there about how how he helped you to prepare for tabernacles, I would love to hear. I would love to hear about it, so I can pass the information on to him. So I can pass it on to him, because he wants to hear the feedback as well. All right. So that being said, it is showtime. It is showtime. Not at the Apollo, but here on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. Who's ready for another super exciting and impactful show? Who's ready for another really super impactful show? Who is ready? I am. So tonight's topic, let's see, there's a comment that came up. Sister Johnny says, our camp out was so basic, we didn't do anything extraordinary. Just sat around, talked, ate, and did Bible trivia. Well, that's a great start, sis. That's a great start. I mean, even just the getting together and spending that time together and getting out of the house, right? Out of those four walls, that confinement. And then next year, I'm sure you all will grow and expand. So Sister Lillian says, Khan, I have a lot of cons. Sister Hapkarat says, I'm ready. Sister Jean says, I'm ready. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's jump right in. Let's do this. So tonight's topic, Declutter Your Life Part 3, Mental and Emotional Detox Finale, is a follow-up to Declutter Your Life Part 2, Mental and Emotional Detox, that was presented 3 weeks ago. So tonight we will continue to dig deeper into the root causes of the physical clutter that plagues us by exploring how the mental and emotional junk that we carry around from day to day, month to month, year to year, place to place, and relationship to relationship causes emotional and mental toxic buildup, which leads to stress and a vicious cycle of emotional, mental, and physical clutter. So it just keeps going and going and going until we decide, you know what, I am tired of this. Let me start dumping some junk and decluttering. So tonight we will embark on a journey that will guide us through the solution, which is a mental and emotional detox. Let's talk about that. So last time that we met, like I said, that was 3 weeks ago. Well, first of all, here's a question. Are you ready to come clean? Are you ready to come clean? Because that's what a detox does, right? It cleans everything. It just gets rid of all that buildup of crap, junk, whatever you want to call it. And then you feel so light after. You just feel light. You feel like, oh, I can breathe. I can breathe. And because there's not all of this clutter physically, emotionally, mentally, that is blocking your thoughts and your process. So that's what we want to do. We want to feel light. We want to be able to remove all that junk so we can think clearly. We can, operate in the manner in which, the Most High would have us to operate. And it's hard to do that when you're bogged down with a bunch of junk. So let's do some junk cleanup. Let's do some emotional and mental detox. So during our last Decluttering Part 2, Mental and Emotional Detox show, we had a guest, Sister Patricia, the health and wellness coach and colon hydrotherapist. And she even talked about, she used the analogy of clearing out the colon and getting rid of all the junk there, and how that helps to detoxify the body. And basically we have to do the same thing emotionally and mentally so that we can detoxify our mind, our emotions, and so that we are able to function better. The goal was for her to return tonight for the finale. However, she's unable to attend tonight as planned. So we're really going to miss her. So Sister Patricia, if you're out there and you just happen upon the video, know that we miss you. We miss you. We miss you. We miss you. And we can't wait for you to come back. But she'll be back really soon. I promise, the Most High willing, because we have some other things in the pipeline that we are going to talk about at the end of this show. We have, oh my gosh, you don't even know what we have planned for October. So you'll want to stick around. You will want to stick around because I am going to reveal what is going to happen in October on Tea Time with Hebrew Royalty. So in the meantime, that being said, let us jump in. Let us jump in and just start to detox. Let's detox. So first we'll start with a brief recap of a couple of the articles that we went over last time, and then move on to some new articles. So I received some really positive feedback from some of you, and it was really encouraging to know that we are bringing you content that you find useful. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your feedback, because that helps me to be able to, know what direction, is, that's being impactful, and should we stick with this or should we move on to something else. But so far, I've been getting such good feedback about this decluttering series that we have been on. And like I said, I thank you so much for your feedback. So many of you have been updating me on your decluttering journey. I've been getting some testimonies about the decluttering journey, and I too am enjoying my decluttering journey. I really am. But I tell you something, I have a garage out there that needs to be tackled, because I've got so much stuff that needs to go into one of those categories, one of those 4 categories. Whether I'm going to keep it, I'm going to junk it, I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to give it away or donate it, right? Because it's just too much stuff. And that is my last, that's the last part of my physical decluttering journey. And I know once that is done, then I am going to be, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel like maybe 10 pounds. I'm going to be so light, because that garage is really getting on my nerves. It is getting on my nerves. There's so many things that I just need to get rid of. So that is my story about my decluttering journey. But as far as the house is concerned, I must say, praise the Most High. I'm going to, give myself a little pat on the back that I'm doing really well with this. And just now, I just need to get out there in that garage and tackle that. So pray for me, y'all. Pray for me, because I may get lost in there. If you don't see me next Sunday, come look for me in my garage. Anyhow, no, I will be here next Sunday, the Most High willing. Trust me. Let's see here. Sister Jean says, absolutely, I need to detox my body as well as my environment. Okay. I need it too, Sister Poetic says. Yes, yes, yes. So let us move on with this decluttering journey. Let's see. There's an article here by The Simplicity Habit. It's why emotional clutter is difficult and how to let it go. So this is about emotional decluttering. Give me just a minute here. Give me just a minute. Let me pull it up on the screen here for you. I think this is it. Nope, that's the wrong article. Give me just a second. Wrong article there. We'll get to that one in just a minute. I think this is it. That screen is so far away from me. Okay, here it is. Why emotional clutter is difficult and how to let it go. I think this is one of the articles that we went over last time with Sister Patricia. So I'm just going to skim through this really well. So it says here, it says inside, learn what emotional clutter is, how it is often tied to physical clutter, and how to let it go. This is so important. It says emotional clutter isn't something that's talked about much, right? Who has heard about emotional clutter before we started on this journey? Because like the article says, it's not something that is talked about much. It's easier to focus on the physical items in our homes that we can see. However, the feelings we hold on to impact every area of our lives. So it's important to talk about emotional clutter. Emotional clutter can be complex. Every person has unique life experiences. It takes being self-aware to recognize our thoughts and feelings so that we can begin to work through them. And that is so true. My emotional clutter is going to be totally unique to me, and it's going to be different from your emotional clutter. So it does require us to be in tune with what is going on with us emotionally and mentally, and actually taking the time to examine what is the root cause of this. And it's work. It really is work. It says many of these emotions also express themselves as physical clutter in your home. If you want to change your perspective and improve your life, make a decision to let go of emotional clutter. So there are 8 types, according to this article. There are 8 types of emotional clutter. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about them. Give me just a second. It says it's not bad to feel negative emotions. They are a part of life. We shouldn't deny or ignore them, but we don't want to get stuck constantly dwelling on them either, right? And that's so true. We have to examine them, but we don't want to get stuck there where we just stay and dwell on them. Here are the most common types of emotional clutter we carry. This is where we were at last time. We were talking about fear and anxiety. So we're going to skim through this. For those who may have not seen our show 3 weeks ago, you may want to go back and view that show, because like I said, we're just going to go through a recap of, I think it was the first 2 articles 3 weeks ago. And we have 2 new articles that we're going to dig deeper into. So I'm just going to go ahead and read through this really quick, just as a refresher of what we talked about last time. So it says fear and anxiety can feel paralyzing. We don't like feeling uncomfortable, so it's common not to push boundaries or step outside of our comfort zones. Often the best thing in life are on the other side of your fears. Isn't that true? On the other side of your fears. Then you realize it wasn't so scary after all. Okay. Yes. When we don't allow ourselves to work through our fears and push past them, we get stuck. When I started, this is her testimony here. She says, when I started this blog, I knew I was going to be shoved outside of my comfort zone. And I was right. I learned to accept being uncomfortable. I even embrace it. That doesn't mean I enjoy it, but I know it is the only way I can grow. It's like when you go to the gym and you're trying to build muscle, it hurts because you have to work those muscles until they are sore, because what you're doing is you're breaking down those muscles so that they can build up and get, bigger and get more. You don't want, we're not trying to get buffed or anything like that, but you want to get toned. So the only way to do that is to work through the uncomfortable part of that workout. And that's what this is. This is really a workout. It's an emotional workout. So in order to grow, you've got to work. So let's talk about your goals. Let's talk about your goals. It says your goals should be important enough to you that they push you to work through some fears. You have to want whatever it is so much that you're willing to be uncomfortable. Maybe your goal is to have a better relationship. Being honest and transparent can be scary, but the ways you'll grow are worth it. Yes. Because what's even more scary is not doing it, right? Not doing that work. And you end up failing. So when fear turns into physical clutter, sometimes fear and anxiety show up as physical clutter. Fear is one of the reasons you hang on to clutter. You may worry about wanting the item later. We talked about this. Or what if you regret getting rid of it? You have to want all the positive outcomes to have a clutter-free home more than your fear of letting go. Because half the times the clutter that we hold on to, it's like we don't use it anyway. It's just sitting there, taking up space and cluttering the space. Guilt and shame. Letting go of the past is hard. Remembering mistakes we've made can cause us to feel guilty or carry shame. Neither of these emotions are helpful. They bring us down and make us feel unworthy. So that's another emotional clutter that we need to get rid of, that guilt and shame. Obsessing over the past. Let's see, hold on. Obsessing over the past doesn't change anything. It instead ruins the present. Choose to let go of past mistakes and focus on making better decisions. Don't put your identity on what you did. You are capable of change. And sometimes that's the difficult part, is that when you've made a mistake, now you feel as though you have become that mistake. And no, you have not become the mistake. You just made a mistake. And so now that is really a lesson learned and something that you should grow from. You should grow from that and learn from the mistake and move on and make a better choice next time. So I like that, how that was put. Don't put your identity in what you did. You are capable of change. All right. A different way guilt surfaces is by filling up our schedule. We feel guilty saying no, so instead we overcommit and try to be everything to everyone. That often ends with burnout. Who has been guilty of that? And then I learned I can't be everything to everyone. Only God can be that. So, yes, let us stay in our lane and realize that you can't. It's impossible to be everything to everyone. So, like it says here, and then you end up crashing and burning and wondering why. So let's talk about when guilt turns into physical clutter. Let's talk about that. It says the way that guilt becomes physical clutter is when we've received gifts that we don't want. We went over this last time. Realize the intention was for the gift to benefit your life. If it isn't, it is clutter and it's time to let go. Yeah, we talked about this last time about somebody giving you this gift and it's because it was something that they liked. And so they figured they'd go buy something that they like and end up giving it to you without, really thinking about, well, will she really like this? Or will he really like this gift? Will it be useful for them? And so we end up with this gift that we really don't want, but we don't want to get rid of it because we feel guilty. Realize the intention was for the gift to benefit your life. If it isn't, it's clutter and it's time to let go. People who love you don't want you holding on to gifts of guilt. And that is so true. That is so true. So let's now talk about anger and bitterness. Anger can be a tough one. Often the reason we are upset is justifiable, but choosing to carry the anger, even if it's for good cause ends up hurting us more in the end. Yes, unresolved anger it does no one any good. So it says life is too short to choose to be angry and bitter. Your life will instantly improve when you decide to let it go. Let it go, let it go. And I'm not going to sing. I'm just going to, tell you to let it go, let it go. You don't want my singing. Anyhow, let it go. Do not hold on to that anger and bitterness. It gives you ulcers. It gives you stress. It gives you high blood pressure. The return on the investment is not really good. It is not really good. So just let it go. Right? So let's scroll down here a little bit here. I really am trying to get through this article quickly, but it's such good stuff, right? It says, this isn't about whether or not the person you feel angry and bitter towards deserve it. It's not about that. This is about letting go of emotional clutter so that you can be the healthiest and happiest version of you, because that is the goal. That is the goal. You should want to be healthy and happy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Health and happiness are good things to hold on to. That's what we want to hoard. That's what we want to hold on to. Have lots of good health and happiness. Number 4 is regret. Regret shares some similarities with guilt and shame. It is often related to choosing to not let go of past choices. We regret that we failed at something, or we regret that we never tried. We wish we'd done things differently. In some cases, you may be able to change things. Maybe the opportunity to try something or make amends is still there. But if it isn't, still choose to let it go. Carrying regrets only weighs you down. Learn from the past and move forward is the best thing that you can do. This says when regret turns into physical clutter. Regret can show up as physical clutter when you're holding on to expensive items you aren't using because you'd spend so much money on them. Isn't that true? It's easy to get rid of the cheap stuff. It's really easy when you look at it and say, oh, I only paid $1 for that, so hey, let me just throw that away. But when you spent thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars on some items, it's like, I can't get rid of this. I spent too much money on it. So you just hold on to it and it turns into physical clutter. So it says, perhaps you thought you'd use it. It seemed like it would improve your life, but it didn't. Then you have a hard time letting it go because of the money you spent. Here's the thing though. The money is already gone regardless. The money is already gone regardless. That is so true. You're not getting the money back unless you choose to go ahead and sell this thing, whatever it is, and get some money out of it. But at least you'll have that space freed up, maybe for something else that you really need and will really use. That's not just going to be clutter. Don't continue to remind yourself of unfortunate choices you made by holding onto a physical reminder of it. Choose to forget the mistake and learn the lesson. Don't hold on to regret. So number 5 is denial. Number 5, denial. All of these ads are just ridiculous. Denial can be a challenging emotion to declutter because you have to see it work. You have to see it, work through it, and denial itself is about pretending it's not happening. So yes, that is a difficult one to declutter. It can be hard to accept life as it is. Living in denial may be a coping mechanism to make things feel a bit easier, but you can't work on what you won't acknowledge, and that's important. It's like the elephant in the room that you're just dancing around this huge elephant and pretending it's not there. And instead of addressing the elephant, you know it's there. It's taking up all that space, but you want to pretend that it's not there. So you're going out of your way to dance around it. And rather than just moving the elephant out of the way, so now your space is freed up. So look at that in that perspective. Where are we? Scrolling a little bit too fast. Where am I? I'm kind of lost here. Hold on. Lost in the scroll. So there it is. Denial. Okay. Where is the next? Okay. It says if you choose to go through life pointing fingers at other people with a victim mentality, you'll never be happy. You'll feel powerless. Are we in the same spot here? Yes. The best thing you can do is to see the role you play in your life and choose to change you, since you can't change anyone else. Don't be in denial about your circumstances or limitations. We all get 24 hours a day. 24 hours in a day, accept reality. Just accept it. It is what it is. Once you accept that, you can now move on. So when denial turns into physical clutter, denial can have manifest itself as a physical clutter when we keep items from our past that have no meaning in our current life. We keep clothes that haven't fit since before having kids. Maybe we keep furniture for when we get the bigger house. Yep, don't we do that? We hold on to items for a life we wish we had, not the life we are actually living. Accept the season of life that you're in. Recognize and take responsibility for your actions. Don't live in a state of denial. So the next emotional clutter that we're going to talk about is sadness. Decluttering sadness can be hard, really hard. When difficult things happen in life, it is not so easy to just let go. There is a time for grieving, and not everything sad is something we can just move past. Sometimes some sadness may always be there when you've lost a loved one. You can't simply get over it. Sometimes the only thing you can do is take the next little step, and that's okay. Okay. Working through your thoughts and feelings with a trusted friend or counselor can be very beneficial. In other cases, sadness can relate to not letting go of the past. We can be sad about missed opportunities or broken relationships. We hold on to hurt and sadness and can't seem to release it. I can't wait to tell you all about October's show. Oh my goodness gracious. October's series, I must say, because there are so many things that are popping up here, so many keywords and phrases that are popping up just in this article that ties into where we are about to go in October. So just hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're going to come back to that. So let's see here. Where was I? Yes, we hold on to hurt and sadness and can't seem to release it. When sadness turns into physical clutter. Sadness can be a reason we hang on to things. Maybe someone who was important to in your life passed away. You might be hanging on onto their things because you have a sentimental attachment and it's hard to let go. Keep in mind that no person is their stuff. I'll repeat that. Keep in mind that no person is their stuff. The memories you shared with that person will live on. You don't have to keep their belongings to remember them well. That is so true. That is so true. Holding on to that stuff just keeps you in that space of sadness because they'll never come back to use the stuff, whatever the stuff may be, their clothes, their furniture, their jewelry, whatever it may be that you find that you're holding on to as an attachment. That is not them. In extreme cases where sadness has turned into depression, clutter often shows up too. Studies have found a link between depression and clutter. That is correct. So number 7, we're moving into number 7. Discouragement and self-doubt. Life happens. Sometimes things don't go the way we hoped or planned. It's easy to feel discouraged and to start to believe things about ourselves that aren't true. Don't compare yourself with others. Social media can breed discontent and jealousy. Call out the lies that go through your head. Call out the lies that go through your head. Replace them with the truth. Oh my goodness, that is so important. Because so many times we hear negative things about a group of people, and you may fit into that group, whether it's by nature of your skin color, your gender, whatever the case may be, and you hear a negative thing about that group of people, and you now, because you share that attribute with them, whether it's the gender, whether it's your skin color, you now take on that whatever that lie is, that mistruth that's told. You now start feeling as though, oh my gosh, that's me, or they're talking about me. No, you need to disassociate yourself from that, because you are an individual. You're not a part of that group just because you share some form of attribute with that group. So learn how to call out the lies that go through your head and replace them with the truth. And you just speak to yourself and say, I am not that. I may be the same skin color as that person, or I may be the same gender as that person, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that description fits me. Call it out as the lie that it is. You are worthy. You are good enough. And then it says here, we are limited by our thoughts. If we doubt ourselves and think small, we will live small. Don't let limiting beliefs run your life. Allow yourself to dream big. Believe that you can accomplish great things. And as we know, through the Most High, all things are possible. Right? We know that. So, number 8, overwhelm and indecision. Overwhelm, like fear, has a way of stopping us in our tracks. For many people, the reaction to feeling overwhelmed is to do nothing. It keeps you from making progress or taking action. When you're overwhelmed, you may also feel indecisive. Stress does not help us make choices, at least not good ones. You may be generally overwhelmed with your life because your schedule is too busy. When we lack margin and run from one thing to the next, it can feel overwhelming. To combat overwhelm, protect your schedule. Set boundaries. Protect your schedule by setting boundaries. Because nobody is going to set boundaries for you. If they do, they're going to put you on their schedule, and next thing you know, you are taking care of all of their business and not having any time to take care of your own. So where are we? I think we're at the right spot there. When overwhelm turns into physical clutter. Physical clutter accumulates when we are too overwhelmed to deal with it. So we shut down. To combat that, create a plan and take small steps. If you're struggling with being decisive, start with making small decisions and work your way up to bigger ones. Let me see. See what y'all are saying out there. Sister Paula says, praise the Most High. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Sister Johnny says, as long as we're doing something for someone else, the enemy blinds our eyes to our weaknesses and our clutter. Sister Paula says, and it blocks your blessings and focus. That's right. That is correct. Sister Jeanette Shalom says, my $3,000 stationary bike that's collecting dust. Oh my goodness. Seth, I think it's time to maybe sell it and get some money for that if it's collecting dust. Yeah, you should be able to get some good money for that, right? Sister Lillian says, it says, I still have a pair of my son's socks from when he was just a baby. Now he's 23. They are so cute. Well, things like that. I mean, a pair of socks is not taking up a whole lot of space. Now, if you had a whole drawer full of socks, then I would say, hey, maybe you need to do, do something with that whole drawer of socks. But something like that, I personally don't see a problem with, because now that's something that he can, pass on to his son. So yeah, I would hold on to the socks, sis. I would. Once again, it's about just assessing, why am I holding on to it, and how much clutter is it, is how much space is it taking up? And letting go of emotional clutter. The following 5 steps will help you work through your emotional clutter. So number 1, identify the emotion. The first step in emotional decluttering is to recognize the emotion for what it is. You can't deal with things you refuse to see. Be honest with yourself about what you're feeling and why. That is a huge step. And that's why it's number 1. Because it's true, you can't fix something if you don't even know that it exists. Or if you're not acknowledging that it exists. So number 2 is the triggers. Let's get to number 2. Number 2, notice the triggers. Oh, before that, it says, we live in a world full of distractions that can keep us from dealing with the important things in life. Don't ignore your feelings. Number 2, notice the triggers. Notice what causes you to feel the emotion that you've identified. If watching the news makes you feel sad, anxious, or overwhelmed, note that. If self-doubt is a common feeling for you after scrolling through social media, be aware of that. Don't compare yourselves to others as you work through this. Social media gives us an inaccurate picture of other people's lives. Don't try to measure up to what isn't even real. Isn't that so true? Everybody on social media has it going on. They just got it going on. In front of the camera, they've got, their life is so wonderful. It's all amazing. But how many of that is real? How many of that is real? I mean, even looking at the celebrities who so many people are trying to emulate, to be like these celebrities, and their lives are, the majority of those celebrities, their lives are a wreck. It's just a wreck. And how many people are really trying to live the lives of these celebrities? And when they don't even want to live their own life. if truth be told, they don't even want to live their own life. But here you are thinking that their life is so great. And if you really sit back and think about it, you may not have as much money as they do, but your life is so much better. The simplicity of it all, not having to put on airs every time you step out of the door and try to mask who you truly are to become something that you really aren't and never will be. So just love your life and stop trying to have that fake life that most of those celebrities have. Anyhow, that's my soapbox about that. So, where was I? Yes. Don't compare yourself to others as you work through. Yes. So let's move on to number 3, which is set goals. Set goals. Number 3. Let me scroll down here. Set goals. Setting new goals can be very helpful when you're working through emotional clutter. Know what you want to be and what you want to work towards. Stay focused on your goals. Resist the urge to compare to what others are doing, and instead choose to be the healthiest version of you that you can. Exactly. Don't get in your own way. When you let go of the negativity, you free up space for better things in your life. Yes, that negativity doesn't do us any good whatsoever. Number 4 is get support. Number 4, get support. Finding help and support is an important part of working through emotional clutter. In cases where you've been carrying these emotions for years, it may be wise to seek professional help. Have friends or family in your life that are supportive. It is helpful to have people you love and trust in your corner to help you work through difficult patterns and emotions. So important. Having a support system is huge. Create new habits. Choose to no longer dwell on your negative emotions. Don't give into self-destructive patterns or behaviors. Decide instead to form new habits. Focus on gratitude to change your perspective. That attitude of gratitude is huge, because when you are grateful for what you have, you're never focusing on what you don't have. When you are just so thankful and grateful, because I'm going to put it this way. When you wake up and you are like thankful that you woke up today, you're just so grateful. You say, oh, thank you, God, for waking me up today. Right? You're so grateful for life that you're not thinking, well, thank God I'm not dead. You are talking about life. You are thankful for what you have, not what you don't have. You're not going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not, dead. You're thinking more on the positive. Thank God for life. Praise the Most High for life. So choose to no longer dwell on your negative emotions. Don't give into self-destructive patterns or behaviors. Decide instead to form new habits. Focus on gratitude to change your perspective. I am so glad to be alive today. Thank you, God, for life. It says not every day is supposed to be sunshine and roses. And that's okay. We can and should be honest about that. When you bottle up those feelings, you create emotional clutter. When those feelings come, do something that is life-giving to you. Read a book, a journal, talk to a friend, or exercise. Practice self-care and deal with your emotions in a healthy way. So now let's talk about working through emotional clutter. Emotional clutter can be more challenging to deal with than physical clutter. It is unseen and often ignored. It takes work to process feelings, especially if you've been carrying them around for a long time. So this is a recap. But you work through those emotions. But as you work through those emotions, you'll feel lighter. Keep taking one step at a time to get to a healthier place. where you're free from baggage. Choose a better life for yourself by letting go of the past. Today can be the start of a new you. Let go of your emotional clutter and get a fresh start. Want to keep up, and then it says here, if you want to keep up to date with the latest simplicity habit information, sign up below. Okay, so once again, this was the simplicityhabit.com where we got this article, and I think this was a really good article. Really good tips on why emotional clutter is difficult and how to let it go. So what do you all think about that that article, sisters? What do you all think about that? Let's see. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Sister Johnny says, praise the Most High. Sister Kuala Khan. What do you think about that? Was there anything that in particular that really just jumped out of the page at you and you thought, wow, this really makes sense. I really need to start implementing that, or just anything that triggered any thoughts or feelings there? Talk to me. I think there were a lot of really good tips. So talk to me. Come on, sisters, give me some feedback. What do you think about that? Let's see. So that was the emotional. So we're going to talk about 10 ways to declutter your mind. 10 ways to declutter your mind. And this is from Psychology Today. Let's see here. We've talked about decluttering the home and our environment, but let's talk about how to declutter our mind. Let's see. Ihadazayon said, let it go. That was mine. Absolutely, Iha. Yes. Let it go. Just let it go. Let it just. No one has time for that. It's all about positivity. So let's jump into this other article. 10 ways to declutter your mind. And I think this is going to be let's see if we have one more, if we have time for one more article after this, or if this is going to be the last one. Let's see here. So let me get that up here. 10 ways to declutter your mind. You need to do that. And this is by Psychology Today. 10 ways to declutter your mind. It says do a daily brain dump. That's interesting. Do a daily brain dump. Let's scroll back up here. Do a daily brain dump. Let's see how to go about doing that. It says cluttered minds can weigh people down and cause unnecessary stress. So we talked about the emotional decluttering. So now we're talking about the mental part here. Cluttered minds can weigh people down and cause unnecessary stress. Individuals can use simple practices to declutter and spring clean their minds. It just takes a few minutes a day to create healthy, sustainable habits. All right. Let's see how we do this. This time of year often brings thoughts of spring cleaning. I guess this article was written in the spring. So this time of year often brings thoughts of spring cleaning our homes, throwing open the windows, decluttering and organizing. A fresh start to a new season feels light and hopeful. It's also the perfect time to spring clean our minds. And our lives in general by taking stock and recommitting to our priorities. Whether house or mind, attempting a massive overhaul all at once is not recommended. Taking it one small step at a time is far more effective for sustainability and follow through. It says here, the following are some easy, fun tips to spruce up your life in manageable, bite-sized pieces. So it says here, begin with your mindset. Begin with your mindset. Let go of thoughts that don't serve you. We find evidence for what it is we focus on. If my mind is trained on what's not going well, I will notice the negative more, and vice versa. We can habituate our minds to be on the lookout for the good stuff daily. So train your mind to look for good stuff, not for the bad. Be in the moment. We spend so much of our time in the past or in the future and miss out on what is happening right in front of us. Notice when you are worrying the future or rehashing the past and coming back to what's here now. Meditation also helps to train our mind to be more in the present moment. Do a daily brain dump. Get all of your to-dos, worries, and thoughts down on paper first thing in the morning, or keep a notebook and pencil by your bed to jot down random thoughts when your mind is full late at night. I do that. I get up in the middle of the night and I'm jotting stuff down. I'm taking notes. When I wake up with thoughts, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And I want to get that on paper or, on some form of notepad so I can check it out in the morning. And usually I know that for me, a lot of times that's the Holy Spirit for me downloading information, and I know to get up and just, take note of it so the next day I can really focus on it. Do a digital or screen detox. Spend a weekend day or shorter block of time screen-free in order to make room for creative thoughts. Yes, because when you're on that screen, it's like everybody else's thoughts are going in your head. Let's see. Where are we? Surroundings. Where in your life could you use more organization? Even if you are a well-organized person, there is usually at least one area that can be streamlined. Emails, finances, paperwork, the sock drawer. There we go with the sock drawer. Pick one. If you need some motivation, set a timer for 10 minutes or blast your favorite music and get to work. Get to work. Priorities. Reflect after the upheaval of the past few years. What have you learned? What do you want to let go of and what gets to stay? If you've acclimated to a slower pace or more downtime, you might keep one day on the weekend for unscheduled rest and fun. Identify your top 4 values. What matters most to you? Think nature, learning, community, and let them guide your actions and priorities. Knowing your top values helps keep our priorities and actions in check. If family is one of your top values, for example, each time you decide whether or not to take on a work project or say yes to a social engagement, ask yourself if you are allowing enough family time. That's huge. Family time is super important. So learning how to prioritize and put in that at the top of your priorities is going to be so important, so you're not neglecting family and spending all your time on the job. Energy. Track your energy. Notice your level of energy when engaged in various activities or tasks. Do you love to garden? You might feel relaxed, calm, or content. Carve out time for more of that and less social media, which likely drains you. Does cooking dinner and deciding what to make tire you out? Meal plan. Assign other family members to make dinner on certain nights or order a meal subscription service. When possible, do more of what energizes you and less of what drains you. What can you add, delete, or delegate from your to-do list? Yes, you are not to be everything to everybody. It's impossible. And we talked about that earlier about the burnout. That's what happens. So keeping track of your energy is going to be is another huge tip there. So let's see. I think I went too far down. Yes. So next is get outside and get moving. It says here, spring ushers in a renewed sense of energy. Moving our bodies help calm our minds and open up creative thoughts. Cold water swimming is trending to boost energy and ward off depression. Cold bodies of water are decidedly not for me, it says. I do, however, love to step outside in the morning with my cup of coffee, listen to the birds sing, and let the cold air wake me up, starting the day refreshed. For me, I kept talking about this at Tabernacles. That sun, although it was so hot when we were out there, that sun was so therapeutic. It was so absolutely therapeutic for me. I deal with, pain in my neck often, very often, headaches because of my neck pain. And I've noticed that whenever I go to Tabernacles, there are two specific times when I recognize that I become pain-free. At Tabernacles, when I'm out there in the sun and I'm active, we went on hikes while we were out there. We exercised first thing in the morning, and we just stayed busy all day in classes and cooking and playing games. And we were so busy that although the sun was hot, although we were being bitten by ants, being attacked by scorpions, that did not faze us. And for myself, the entire time that I was out there in that sun, soaking up all of that, getting all of that vitamin D, I was totally pain-free for the entire 8 days. However, when I returned home, it was like, what is going on? My neck has flared up again, and it's the environment. And we have to start paying attention to the things that work for us. And for me, excuse me, the sun is my friend. Excuse me. The sun is my friend. So whenever I go to Tabernacles, I notice that my pain is so much more manageable. And it's because of being outside, being in the in nature, being more active. Give me just a second. Got a little scratchy throat here. But yes, now that that's calmed down. Yeah, and the other time when I noticed that my pain is at a zero is when I'm fasting. So whenever I'm in a fast, I have no pain. And whenever I'm out active in the sun, it really keeps my pain at bay. So become in tune with your body and look for the things that impact you and your health in a positive way, and try to do these things more often. Make that a part of your routine. So this person is talking about going outside and getting, coffee. She said the cold water, bodies of cold water is not for her, but she loved to step outside in the morning with her cup of coffee, listen to the birds sing, and let the cold air wake her up, starting the day refreshed. So find your perfect cup of tea, and whatever is your niche, right? Start a new healthy habit. Start a new healthy habit. Be intentional about what habit you choose. What do you want to do and why? Knowing our why helps renew our motivation when it inevitably flags. I might, for example, begin stretching 5 minutes a day to increase flexibility, lessen stiffness, and prevent injuries, and it feels great. Which one life spring cleaning tip will you experiment with today? That's the question. So what did you think about those tips? And that was 10 ways to declutter your mind. What do you think about those tips? Were those helpful? So yes, those are definitely the two articles that we're going to focus on tonight. We're not going to go into any other articles. So let's see what's said here. Sister Jean says, it is true. I do hold on to things of value rather than of lesser value, even though I may not even value it anymore. I thought it was enlightening. I need to learn to let even more go. Khan says, I think all of us do. We just tend to hold on to the stuff that, like we said, is just doing us no good. So that's actually having a negative impact on our well-being. So I think those tips were really good tips. Let me, as a matter of fact, share this article. And I had already closed out the other article. Let me see, is that paste? Yep. There we go. So there's the article about the 10 tips. Sister Lillian says, Sister Jean says, live in the moment. Need to work on that. And Sister Lillian removed her message. Sister Johnny says, great. All right. Yes. Any questions? I think that was a very informative article. Very, very informative, both of those articles. So I shared the last one. I had already closed out the other one. So Sister Lillian said I got bit by, I guess, a spider on my stomach. I thought it was a rash. Oh, wow. I hope that's healing well. Oh my gosh. I got bitten by those ants. Oh my goodness. Those fire ants were something else out there. Those fire ants were something else. So I hope that those articles helped you on your journey to mental and emotional detox. I know it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff, but the past month or month and a half that we had been dealing with decluttering, this was the final episode on decluttering, mental and emotional detox. So I'm hoping that you all learned some things that you can now utilize to help on your decluttering journey. And it's a process. Because as soon as we feel like we've gotten there, we're all decluttered and everything, you have to be very mindful, because as you go to the stores and you start buying more stuff or getting gifts from over here or donations from over here, then you need to really think about one thing comes in and two things go out. I think we talked about that in one of the previous shows, is if you get something, bring something in, two things should be taken out to free up that space. Says that she's healing. It's now very itchy. Yes. A few ants got under my dress also, sis. Oh, those darn ants. I'm telling you. So let's move on. We're getting close to that time. So let's talk about, I have a call to action now. This is my call to action. As many of you know, I recently became certified as a CPR and BLS and wilderness first aid instructor. Yes. And the main reason is because I recognized the need for us as a body to become prepared for what's to come, right? Because we know there are some things that are coming down the pipeline that we need to prepare for. So part of that preparation is not only learning how to grow our own food, livestock, having enough food and water stored for when times get rough, getting in shape physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that's why we've been having these decluttering shows and mental and emotional detox, because we have to have mental and emotional clarity when, going into the days and the times that are coming, that we're preparing for. So getting in shape, we have to get in shape physically, mentally, emotionally, but also I recognize the need for us to know how to respond to a medical emergency when 911 and other medical help may not be available. This is so important. So that is why during tabernacles, I usually take the time to have these classes on first aid and wilderness first aid especially. So although I have worked in many medical specialties for over 40, 45, 46 years, counting, as and as a physician assistant for 26 years, I'm always seeking to grow my knowledge and to be more effective and competent, especially during time of emergencies where someone's life may depend on it. And that's why like I said, when we go out to tabernacles, I'm so motivated. I'm so motivated to teach, because as I say out there, what happens if the medical person, something happens to that medical person and everyone else out there doesn't know how to handle a medical emergency, right? All things fall apart at that point. So my goal is to instill some of what I've learned and continue to learn in you. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do these shows. That's why I teach out there. And that is the reason why I decided to become a CPR, BLS, and wilderness first aid instructor, is so that I can now instill these teachings, everything that I learn in you. Because, you may be, it may be you that saves my life, right? So that's how I want you all to think, is that there may come a time where it is my responsibility to save a life, and I want you to be prepared. So that being said, through the direction, I believe, of the Holy Spirit, I believe it's my duty to go a step further. And that step is to ensure that all of the adults in our church body become CPR certified by the end of December. That is the goal that has been brought to me. And wilderness first aid certified at a later date that is to be determined. So CPR by the end of December for all of the adults in the body is my goal. And so that being said, I need your help to help make that a reality. So I am launching a fundraiser to help with the purchase of the equipment that's necessary to teach the classes and also for the business startup. So this fundraiser, like I said, because I'll need the CPR mannequins, I'll need all of the equipment that goes along with that, CPR cards, because once you become CPR certified, you're certified for 2 years. And this is something that, of course, you can, there are many jobs out there that require CPR certification, or you may just want to have that skill because you plan to babysit, or, to have that skill to utilize in your home should there be an emergency in your home. So the goal is to have everyone in the body, adult age, to be CPR certified. And as I said, I really need your help to make this a reality for me. So the goal is the goal for the fundraiser is $3,000 to help fund this cause. And so whatever you can donate will be extremely, extremely appreciated. No donation is too small. If it's $1, it's $1 towards that goal. And so I really, really thank you in advance. You can make the donation through the Cash App, and I'm going to put the information up on the screen. And my Cash App is my name, Kuala Yakaka, and add donation towards QTC, which is qualified, my name, qualified training and certification. But you could just use the donation towards QTC. And like I said, let me put the information up here on a banner for you. Give me just a second. Let's see. So the Cash App, Kuala Yakaka, donations for QTC is what should be in the comment section. And yes, I just want to thank you so much in advance. Who knows? Qualified training and certification may be visiting your church body in the near future, because that is the goal, is to have us prepared for all types of scenarios, all types of emergencies. And like I said, that is the reason why I chose to become a BLS CPR and wilderness first aid instructor, is to now instill all of this knowledge in you all so that we can pay it forward, right? We can pay it forward. So that is my that's my request. And like I said, I thank you all so very much for everything that you do, for showing up on these Sundays to spend time with me, because you could be doing so many other things, but you choose to spend this time with me, and I truly appreciate you. So next week's show, let's talk about next week's show. Oh my goodness. Next week's show is Broken Toys, the series. And it's not just next week, it's actually the month of October, because it's a series. And wow, I don't even know if I have the time to go into what brought this out, but let me just give a brief explanation of what Broken Toys, the series, is about. After the last show that we had on Decluttering Your Life, Mental and Emotional Detox, that was part 2, I received a phone call that night from one of my dear sisters, and she said she just wanted to thank me. And she said, these are the type of conversations that we need to have. How do we get rid of all this junk? You know, the clutter, not just like you said in our physical space, but mentally and emotionally. And she just expressed her gratitude for the show. And she said, we really need more of these conversations. And that was that Sunday night. And I woke up early that Monday morning. I mean, early, sometime in the wee hours of the morning. And that conversation was playing in my head. And from there, I know it was just the Holy Spirit taking me through all these thoughts. And then it was clear, the words broken toys came to me as I was laying there in my bed. And I started thinking, what is that about? And immediately, all of the information started coming to me about the different types of traumas that we as a people deal with, different types of traumas, and the mental and emotional impact and physical impact that it has on our lives. And that is so much of the junk that we have been accumulating over the years, but we don't talk about it. We don't talk about what it is that we need to declutter. What is it that we need to detox from? And so there's this ambiguity of stuff that we say, oh yeah, I need to get rid of, some emotional stuff, but we're not labeling it. We're not calling them out by names. What are these things that we need to detoxify from? And so all of these things just started going through my mind as I'm laying there. And throughout the days since then, I've spoken to sisters, I've spoken to brothers about this broken toys series. And I've gotten so much feedback, and all of it positive, all of it saying, yes, these are the things that we need to talk about. So in the upcoming show, this is what we'll be talking about. We're going to be talking about the brokenness, how we have been broken physically, emotionally, mentally. What are the cause of the break-in? How does it continue the cycle? How are we continuing this cycle? Because we're not healing, we're not talking about it, we're not going to the right people to become free. And so we're not going to be talking about these issues from the spiritual standpoint, because the panel that I have put together, we are practitioners in mental health, but myself in mental health, having worked in psychiatry and addiction for many years, and also in, of course, the physical side of medicine, and bringing all of these together. Our wellness coach is going to be there. A therapist is going to be on the panel. And then we also, oh my goodness, we're also going to have a special show with a forensic psychologist that happens to be part of our body, that will come and talk to us about the pathology, basically, of trauma. And he's going to go so deep into getting to the root of traumas. And so this is a series that you really don't want to miss. This is a series that I don't know. I don't know how many shows it's going to take for us to get there, but we're going to have a panel with sisters, and we're also going to have a panel of brothers that are going to come on and talk about the mental and emotional impact that trauma has had on their lives. And also those of us who, we're not just talking about victimization, we're talking about those who have been the perpetrators or who have inflicted the traumas. And then there are traumas out there that are coming from other areas, outlying sources, from the jobs, from there's just so much to uncover. So that's about all that I can say right now about the series. But like I said, we're going to dig really deep. And the goal is, because we are not spiritual counselors, is so that when you now, if you can identify as in any of these areas that we're going to expose, you can now take this information that you have received and you can now seek counseling to get to true healing from our elders, from our bishops, our deacons, and our officers, and so on. So the goal is to basically open up this box that has been kept shut for so long, and now these things need to be exposed so that we can really and truly walk in to our healing as a people. So that is the goal. Broken Toys, the series. Please, please, please show up next week. Bring, invite everyone that you know, because all of us have some area of brokenness that we need to address. And the time is now. This is the time that we need to really talk about these issues, because if not now, then when? Right? That being said, we're also planning for next year's 3rd annual Shebrew Royalty Summit Tea Party. Keep that in mind. And there's so much great stuff coming up. So please, please, please stick with me. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Matter of fact, invite others to join us. So sisters, in conclusion, I hope that you found the information that was presented tonight useful. I really do. If you did, please do me a favor and share this video with your sister friends and relatives. Let's grow this channel so that the information can reach Hebrews throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and even those that are not Hebrews but are willing to be a part of our community. We are to let our light shine so that others can be led to the source of the light. Please, 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 sisters, share this channel with others. Share this video. And like I said, next week and next month is going to be, it's really going to be huge. All right. So thank you. Thank you. I love you all so very much. I appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule to have tea and conversation with me. The water. Thank you for your support. Know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for us. So until the Most High brings us back together, may you prosper and be in good health. And remember, true healing begins inwardly before it is expressed outwardly. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, a voice of reasoning and justice. Have a blessed and restful night and an amazing week. And if it's the Most High's will, I will see you next week. Same tea time, same channel. I love you all. AHAYAH. Shalawam, shalawam. Let's see. There's some comments here. Some comments. Let's see before I sign off. I will invite everyone I know who needs to hear this. Sister Lillian says, what does this series start again? The series starts next Sunday. Next Sunday, sis. I will invite everyone I know who needs to hear this. This is an awesome topic that is very much needed. The water, sis. Sister Madakwa says, Tawada says, I definitely need to rewatch and will share. All praises. Sister Lillian, love you, sissy. Khan sis, bless you, sis. The water sisters. Shalawam, love you.